I'm smiling, but it's very much the opposite of how I feel right now. I thought about for a moment allowing time to pass, allowing the dust to settle on certain things, and coming from a higher perspective and a higher place of like, I'm healed and this is what I've learned. However, I thought, being January and the start of the year, maybe someone else is going through the exact same thing as me, perhaps. Maybe you're also doing a personal inventory of everything you've ever done in your life and are wondering how to move forward. To just punctuate this video and to set a bit of a scene, I am currently in Athens, Greece, sitting in Maria's kitchen. She's sadly no longer here, but I truly feel her presence everywhere in this house, in this apartment. And something about Maya is that she experienced a lot of depression in her life. Even prior to my papu, my grandfather, passing away, she would very often go into these dark places in her life and in her minds. And after my papu's passing, it particularly got worse. And so I sometimes just sit in this kitchen and I imagine the way that she felt. And I think about myself and my own struggles, particularly this point in time, and I know exactly what she's going through. And I know, or I imagine, how alone she must have felt in all of that. And the irony is, 10 years ago in 2015, I was sitting in this very kitchen. I had just finished a 2-month backpacking trip around South America. I should have been feeling, obviously, on top of the world. I should have been feeling like there were so many endless opportunities in front of me. Instead, I felt overwhelmed. I didn't know what was next. I kept thinking in my mind, well, this is what I should do. I should go to London. I should move there like all my fellow Aussies. And I should try and pick up a 9-to-5 and live there for a few years. So I did. After I spent a month in this apartment just growing more and more depressed and uncertain and unsure, I decided that action was better than inaction, and I made the choice to go to London. I was there for maybe 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and it quickly became obvious to me that doing things because I think I should doesn't equate to it being the right thing. It felt completely misaligned. I just didn't really resonate with London. I couldn't see myself living there. It just felt so rushed and busy, which you can say the same about Athens, but all in all, it wasn't for me. So I did the only thing that I thought I could do at that point in time, and I left. I went back to Australia. In hindsight, I will not say that that was the wrong thing to do, because I felt mentally, I was just so overwhelmed and I needed some sort of source of stability, and I needed to kind of heal a lot of things within myself. So going home was great for that, because it did over time, over a long period of time, allow me to do those things. But reflecting on all that 10 years later and being in a similar position whereby I do not know the path ahead and feel very overwhelmed by that, the last thing that I want to do is go back home, because going back home to me would kind of just mean going back to all the ways in the past that I've felt that I've needed to protect myself by pressing eject and by running away from things and running away from the possibility of things. That has always been my default. And regardless of how that is perceived by other people, I can't deny that is my patterning. I often get so overwhelmed with uncertainty and of not knowing, and instead of persevering and pushing through and just, trying, I exit. I look for the nearest exit sign. I go straight through it, quite impulsively, I might add, and just try and find like a way to kind of calm myself and calm everything that I'm feeling at that moment. The thing is, though, doing this inventory that I've been doing, which, you can say is unhealthy to an extent and probably not the best way to make yourself feel better, it's made me realize that it is a patterning that I no longer want to feed into anymore. And don't take me wrong, I want to just sit here some more, and I want to sit in my own wallowing, and I want to continue to keep blaming myself, and I want to just keep potentially feeling sorry for all the ways that I stand in my own way. But I've come to this inevitable point where I can't do that anymore. I know I'm a flawed human being. I know I make mistakes. I know that I will always acknowledge the ways in which I've hurt people, or I've done the wrong thing, or I could have chosen better. But I just can't allow this to be my default anymore. This perpetual blaming and this perpetual just state of mind that really just puts me down. I feel like the only way forward, literally at this point in time, is through and is forward. So I'm saying all of this because being in this familiar environment and feeling these familiar feelings, it's made me confront stages of my life where I've done the same thing. And we oftentimes find security and stability in repeating patterns. And it's like a defense mechanism that you can't escape because it's so deeply etched into your way of being. You want to do differently, you want to choose differently, you want to do better, but it is so incredibly hard to break out of that habit and that conditioning that seems to have forever been a part of you. But the beautiful thing about some of us who are slow to learn and maybe think too much, who think too much, there just comes a certain time in your life, and it can just be in the simplest of ways when you're sitting in a kitchen, that you're just like, I need to do something in a different way. And I can't really berate myself any further, any more than I have been. I just want to go down another path that I haven't gone down before. This is where I'm currently at. I cannot lie. I've been very emotional this past month. I think I've cried pretty much every single day. But I do not say that for sympathy or to put myself in a place of victimhood. I say it because I do not know what path is ahead of me. I still feel uncertain. I still feel unsure. But the biggest difference is I'm choosing to move through that. I am choosing to wake up, to exercise, to do good things for myself because I know that I deserve that. And in the past, I feel like ejecting myself out of situations and out of whatever it was just denying myself the possibility of experiencing something different for myself, experiencing something better. And now, even though I still in some ways don't feel worthy, I have this need to just be more curious than I was in the past, to just move forward even a little bit in the way forward of just something different. I have that need, intense need for it right now. Yeah, January I feel like is triggering for me at least, and I don't feel compelled into action, I think, in a lot of ways that we're supposed to. But if anything, know what I want to leave behind. Truly know what I want to leave behind. I can't continue to just keep doing the same things and endlessly feeling like the worst person in the world because of it. So I'm deciding very consciously, slowly, that I'm going to move through it. I'm going to try. I'm going to commit, although quite shakily, to the pursuit of something new for myself. Just want to put it forward that if you're also in a similar position and you really don't like this time of the year as well, please stop doing an inventory of your previous versions of yourself. Start thinking about the possibilities of who you are yet to become. And if you're going to look at anything, just maybe look at how you've often been getting in your own way, as I have, of that possibility and of the potential of that person and who you could be. I am so aware that it's scary, it is unnerving, it is all of the things, but wouldn't you rather take a little bit of a step forward in pursuit of that different version of yourself in your life? Wouldn't you rather that instead of feeling stuck? I know that I would. And even though I feel lost and even though I feel sad, just going to keep moving forward and finding a different way through. I hope that you can do the same thing as well.